Hello friends, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. Today's video is a mostly cat vlog. I'm just so obsessed with them. I'm in love with them. They're like my main focus right now. So I've been taking tons of video and tons of pictures of them, and I'm just so happy. And so many of you commented in the last video that you could hear the happiness in my voice. You're definitely right. Anyway, Joan had been sleeping on the stairs, so I put a blanket down for her and she was sleeping on that. And then John really wanted her to come up in his room or like on his bed and sleep. And so he put another blanket kind of in his room to kind of lure her in there. And it didn't end up working. I think like the 6th or 7th night that she was here, she did get up on his bed, and then he woke up and she was sleeping on his chest, which is so cute. So the cats were not getting along at all at first. They kept like hissing and growling at each other, but over time they gradually started getting closer and closer. So like sleeping on the couch at the same time. But now they like are super cuddly with each other, and it is so cute. I feel like not only were they meant to be with us, but like meant to be with each other too. I'm just so happy with the way everything worked out. One of Betty's favorite pastimes is watching TV, specifically the floor model TV. It's super cute. I posted it on Instagram about it the other day because she loves the Roku like home screen, the like screensaver where it's like slowly moves by. It's really cute. But every time I turn the TV on, because it makes kind of a loud sound, if she's awake, she'll run into the living room and run up to the TV. It's super cute. So this was the closest they had been so far, both sleeping next to each other like that. So I was taking a bunch of photos and videos, and I was texting John at work. He's so cute. But then they started to kind of play fight a little, and they still do that every day now, but it's kind of like how it sort of started warming up. But now they'll like sleep together too, and it's just so adorable. Betty is obsessed with Joan. Like, she wants to be everywhere Joan is and be doing what Joan's doing. So it's super cute. I'm filming tons for the cats, but I feel like most of you won't mind seeing lots of footage. I do show other things though, so it's not totally all cats. But here I'm making some dinner for John. I got these little potato things. I think I showed in like one of the last videos. I got in 2 different ones. This one's for like supposed to be for the barbecue, which is why the tray part is foil. But the barbecue, like, I swear it hates me. Every time I try to start it, it doesn't work. But John will walk out like right after me and it starts no problem. And I've tried a bunch of different things, but so anyway, I had saved the tray from the other ones, so I just made them in the microwave like I did the other ones. And it's weird looking at this footage because Betty looks so much tinier than she is now. But I baked some tofu, so I made some, they're like tofu steaks, potatoes, broccoli, corn for John. I made like that day's and for the next day, and then I just made some tofu for myself with broccoli and corn, I believe. This is usually where Joan always sleeps, in this chair, and she has like come out of her shell so much. It's so like, it just warms my heart so much just thinking, well, the fact that she spent like 4 months in the shelter, it's just like, I don't know, it hurts my heart. But then the fact that she was a stray before that, so like now she has a home, and I don't know, she just seems so happy, and she's like really coming out of her shell. And yeah, it just makes me super happy. I feel like she was meant to be with us. Yeah, and it's funny because the shelter, like in her little write-up, said, you know, that she wasn't a lap cat, but she's super cuddly. She's been like, I mean, she slept on John's chest, but she gets up on my lap sometimes too, and just, oh, it's just so precious. She just needed to, you know, have the right environment, I think. So We have like a ton of ice cream things because it's been super hot. So I just filled this whole bin with them. So I was going to have an ice cream sandwich, which are like one of my favorite things ever. I think it's made with almond milk or maybe coconut milk, but they're just these little sandwiches and it's so good. So had one of those, and then I'm going to get to some decluttering. I've been like wanting to do this for a long time, so finally made some time to do that. I've been spending most of my time just kind of in the living room with the cats, because even though they're definitely getting along now, at the time obviously Joan is way bigger than Betty, so like she could hurt her, and where she was a stray, I didn't really want to leave them alone together until I kind of knew that they would be okay, because I'm like, you just never know. Plus, where she was a stray, like, you just don't know. She actually had a baby, like Joan had a kitten. The kitten got adopted and stuff, but they were telling us that she like turned on her kitten. And so I just was like being a little cautious, but I set up one of Betty's toys. I don't know why I'm calling it Betty's toy. Joan plays with it too, but I just hooked it into the drawer there so she would be occupied while I did this. But I usually just keep a lot of random stuff in here. I'll just like, if I don't know where to put something, I'll just kind of stick it in here. So I knew there was a bunch of stuff in there that I wanted to go through. In the fall time, I used to put this over here because the top is a little bit damaged. It used to be like one of those stereo cabinets, but the stereo part was gone when we bought it. I think it was like $5. I just love the way it looked. So it's quite damaged on top, but I usually put that over there, but I'm not sure if I like it anymore. So I can't remember if I kept it or if I got rid of it, but these like sheer curtains we had used when we had a booth last summer, so I did donate those. And then I've got extra curtains like for the kitchen. And then I finally found this little dog. I've been looking for this since Christmas time because I took it down when I put up the Christmas decorations last November. And then I looked everywhere for it and I couldn't find it. And I thought it must just be packed up with the Christmas decorations. I usually put it on top of this little clock that I keep on top of the TV. So it was in there the whole time. But yeah, I have extra curtains here for the kitchen. So I don't want to get rid of those just in case. And then the clock that I found quite a few months ago now, I think, that I need to like figure out how to attach it to the wall because it's really heavy. So I'm gonna put that in the kitchen. The kitchen's one of the places I want to give a little bit of a makeover. So I don't know. But also this like Lazy Susan sewing thing. I thrifted this like maybe even last year, but I haven't like used it yet. And then I had these vintage orange curtains, which there was 3 panels, and I was hoping they would fit our living room window, but they didn't. So I did end up using one panel like on one of our doors, but the other 2 panels were just there, and I realized I'm never going to use them for anything. So I decided to sell them, and we actually put them on eBay and they sold almost immediately. So that was good. And Betty, she loves looking out the window. And then the bottom of this china cabinet is like where a ton of stuff gets put, and it's like super cluttered because there's no actual shelves in there. I wish there was like 2 or 3 shelves because it would make things a lot better, but I just kind of went through that a little bit, tried to, I don't know. There's a bunch of stuff in there that I keep thinking like, oh, I could use this in a video, but then I don't. But then every time I look at it, I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll use that in a video. So I'm just stuck in this loop of thinking I'm gonna use things in a video, and then I don't know, someday I'll get it together. Yeah, so I don't know how much I actually got rid of from under there, but it's because there's no shelves. It's so cluttered and it drives me nuts. But anyway, now we're just watching the cats play. They are obsessed with this ball tower. Joan too. Joan's obviously way bigger though, so she plays with it really hard sometimes and like flings it across the room. She's actually figured out how to get the top layer open too and get the ball out. Every night before bed, I keep like a couple toys in my room for Betty, so she usually plays for a little bit before bedtime to kind of like tire her out some, and then when I turn the light out she kind of knows. But in this morning she's so cuddly in the morning, but she just kept coming closer and closer to me until she like basically pushed her face into the camera. So it was the weekend and we haven't had breakfast in like a really long time. Like I think it's been months. So I was like, oh, we should make breakfast this weekend. It'd be really nice. So I did that and it was so good. So we had like a really comfy, cozy day. We brought the big TV up from the basement so that we could watch another Jurassic Park movie. Been like trying to watch them all through, and then gonna watch the new one this weekend, I think. So that was just really nice, having like a not do anything kind of weekend, just home with the cats. And so Joan's been getting like super comfortable and stuff, so she started sleeping on my bed usually during the day. So cute. And actually she sleeps there at nighttime now too, because John had to go like dog sit for someone, so he's been gone for a few weeks. So I didn't want to keep Betty like closed up in my room and like leave Joan out. I didn't want her to feel left out, so I've just been sleeping with the door open now, and so Joan sleeps in there too with us sometimes. But sometimes she still sleeps in the hall. Like last night, she was sleeping in the hall on that blanket, so I've just left the blanket there for her. I just figure wherever she's comfortable, like she can do that. But she's actually just such a cuddly, just sweetheart of a cat. It makes me sad that like nobody wanted to adopt her for so long, but at the same time I feel happy that she was there for us. So John went to town, got a few things, and I asked him if he could get a small stuffed animal for Betty, but like not with like eyes or anything on it. So he found this penguin, which was perfect. And then he also got this because they love the ball tower so much. We thought they might like this, but they haven't really played with it that much. And they never use the scratch pads, so they like to scratch the furniture instead. But we also got a baby gate for the front entryway. And then John got some pizza. Like this pizza place has like vegan cheese and pepperoni. It's so good. Because it was like his birthday was soon, so we were like, he had to work on his birthday, so we were like, oh, let's just have another, like, just keep the cozy vibes going all weekend. So I gave Betty her penguin and she loved it because she's like she had like 3 or 4 brothers and they were all in the same cage together in the shelter, so she's used to like kind of playing with them. So instead of attacking my arm, I was like, she needs a little stuffed animal she can kind of play with and roughhouse with. But she loved it, so super cute. It was perfect because the eyes and stuff are just sewn on, so there's nothing that she can bite off of it. But it was super cute. So the next morning I made breakfast for us again, and just the same thing. And we watched another Jurassic Park movie. This might have been like the last one before the newest one. I can't remember, but it was just so nice to just not have to do anything. John's been working a lot on the weekends, so and then yeah, just I feel like we're always doing something, and so it was nice just to stay home and not really do much. So Betty's other favorite thing to do is looking out the windows, and it is so adorable. So she spends so much of her time looking out the different windows. So the one in my room, she looks out that one the most, but there's one in the dining room where she looks out all the time. I'm not sure if I have any like footage of that here, but the little tower that I showed in the last video, I just put that by that window, and she spends like so much of her time there. Like if I can't find Betty, I'll go look in the dining room, and that's where she is 90% of the time. She gets so tired that she like falls asleep there after she's done looking out the window. It's just so cute. But here she is on my bed. She's like so good at knowing when it's bedtime now. It's she rarely ever wakes me up at night, so it's kind of nice. And so now we're at the point where Joan and Betty are both like on the bed all the time, which is super cute. And for Betty, like I think I mentioned like in the last video that I wanted to sleep train her. I wanted to start like right away, so I would close the door, keep Betty in there with me, like I showed. She would play with her toy for a little while to kind of tire her out. Sometimes I would play with the laser pointer with her too to tire her out. And then I usually like read or something for a little bit before bed, so while she's playing, that's what I'm doing. But then when I like turn the light out, it's like time for sleep, and so I just keep the exact same routine. And then after that, I like don't engage with her. So if she did wake me up trying to play, I just wouldn't engage with her at all, so she's not like getting attention from me by waking me up. And it's really hard because she's really cute, but if you're like really like, cats are super stubborn, but like if you're just consistent with it, it will work eventually. And I regret it. Like with Marley and Dylan, they were both very vocal. They were part Siamese. If you've ever heard like a Siamese meow, it's pretty intense. So yeah, I regretted like not trying to do that with them, because it was very intense with them at nighttime. So I was like, if I ever get another kitten, I'm going to immediately try to like correct that behavior. And so far it seems to have worked pretty well. Now she's not in there just with me, like Joan's been in there too, but they seem to be doing okay. So at this point I was like, I really need to start posting videos again, which I have, which you guys seen a whole bunch. So I had my planner out, and I was looking at all the footage that I had filmed and figuring out videos and everything, because I was really excited to share with you guys that we had got these cats, because I was just so happy. So I had mentioned earlier that it was John's birthday soon, so I had got this like plant-based boxed cake. It was 50% off, but it's still good for a long time, so it might be that they're discontinuing it. Now, normally this box cake is $8, which is why I've never bought it before. Even at $4 is like a little extreme, but I was like, well, if I'm ever gonna try it, it's gonna be now. So I just had that here. So I thought, I'll just make that. Instead of adding water to it, I like made it with coffee. They used to do that at one of the places that I worked, so I was like, oh, I should just try doing that. I will say it was okay. It definitely wasn't as good as my homemade cake, we both kind of thought, but I wanted to make it like a layer of icing in the middle, so I did it in 2 different pans, which it ended up coming out super thin, so I should have probably just did it in one, but oh well. I wanted to get it done early enough in the day that it had a chance to cool and everything before I added the frosting to it. John usually gets home from work like after 6 o'clock every day, so just did that, and Betty, she, kittens are so crazy. Like, they just have so much energy, especially Betty. But they're both long-haired cats, so I feel like I need to wash these blankets a lot more frequently than I used to with just Marley, because they're just furs everywhere. So I was getting some of that done and just some other cleaning. Really, I feel so bad when I have to vacuum, but like I can't stand not vacuuming every day. So, and now that we have 2 long-haired cats, I've been vacuuming like twice a day. But I usually try to wait till they're not on the main level. But I was doing some meal prep for myself, and the cake was cooled. All that. Made John some lunch for the next day. Well, I guess I put the vegetables in for a few days. But I was making one of my favorite things, like a quinoa bowl. And when I looked at this footage last night, it made me so hungry and crave it so much that I asked John if he could get all these ingredients so that I can make it after he gets off work today, so I can make it tomorrow. But I love quinoa so much, so I usually put some of this Greek seasoning in with the quinoa and then just a little bit of Italian dressing. Love quinoa so much. A lot of people don't like it. They find it bitter, but I don't have that problem, thankfully. But John can't eat quinoa because it bothers his stomach. I guess I've heard a couple of different people tell me that if you have a reaction to quinoa, that you'll have it every single time and you can never eat it again without having that reaction. So I'm always scared that's gonna happen to me. It hasn't so far, but it's one of my favorite things. So I was just using this canned frosting. It's not the greatest, but I mean it doesn't have great ingredients in it, but it is it doesn't have any animal ingredients in it, at least that flavor anyway. I think some of them do, but and then I have a bunch of sprinkles in my baking cabinet, so I just threw some of those on there. Now we're upstairs. Joan, she's so cute and sweet. Her fur is so soft too. It's probably some of the softest cat fur I've ever felt. And Betty's is soft too, but there's something about Joan's it's super, super soft. Another thing that Betty really loves is being under the covers. She gets under the covers a lot, but even here where she squeezed in between the pillow and the blanket, she just loves being kind of burrowed in things, I guess you could say. So I've literally, I don't think I've made my bed one time since we got these cats because they're always on the bed, and so I just leave them be. I'm having one of those poppy strawberry lemonades. Oh, so good. They're so expensive though. It's not something I could buy on a regular basis. And this is either the first time or one of the first times where I was sitting on the couch and Joan jumped up on the couch and came right over to me. So I was freaking out. I remember when it first happened, I was texting John because I was so excited. But she started jumping up on the couch a lot more when I, was sitting on the couch, which is really cute. Oh, they're just adorable. But every time John would come over, he would say, Betty's getting so big. And I'm like, don't say that. But now that I'm looking at this footage, I do see that she does look tinier than she does now. So I guess he's right. I'm trying to savor every moment of her being so little because it's just so cute. Just adorable. I mean, she's still quite small, but she does look smaller in this footage, so I guess he's right. I'm just around her all the time, so I don't notice, but just adorable. So I had done some laundry that I wanted to put away, but the cats are obsessed with getting in the closet, so I literally had to take the basket of clothes in the closet with me and closed the door so they couldn't get in there with me, and I put everything away. But as soon as I opened the door, they were like waiting to try and get in. They've gotten in a couple times, but they can like go in the very like back of the closet. And the other day I actually accidentally like closed Betty in there. I couldn't find her, and then I could hear her crying. It's like, oh, she must be stuck in the closet. Betty's back to her neighborhood watch lookout. I swear she probably spends like a couple hours a day at least looking out the windows. And she's gonna get too big though to fit on the window ledge like that, but she also gets up on the back of the chair and like peers out. I ended up like lifting up the blinds a little bit more so that she could see a little bit better. But she's also got Joan invested in it, so now Joan is always looking at the window too, but Joan's too big to actually like get in the window, and even like she's a little bit too big to get on the back of the chair too. Like she tries sometimes, but you can tell she's not comfortable up there because she's too big. But I just love them so much. Feel like they just have brought me so much joy. So on this night before bed, I was just doing a little more video planning probably and all that. So I haven't been feeling well in the last like week or so, which is why there was such a delay from my last video. I wasn't planning on that, but I just didn't feel very well. And then I threw my back out, which has been incredibly painful, but I'm starting to feel a lot better. So I figured I would try and record a couple voiceovers for some videos today. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed seeing so much of the cats, because it's a lot of cats. But yeah, anyway, so there should be some more vlogs coming soon, and I'll see you again soon.